Now, question 22, which of the following thermometers show the temperature less than 50 degrees Celsius? Okay, now let us see each figure one by one. So talking about the first figure, yes, it definitely shows a temperature greater than 50 degree. And in the question, we are asked to find out the thermometer which shows temperature less than 50 degrees. So this will not be the answer. Talking about the second figure, again, it is showing a temperature greater than 50 degrees. So this will not be the answer. Now, C, yes, C will be the answer. Why? Because it is showing a temperature less than 50 degree. So this will be the final answer. And also, if we look for option D, it is showing a temperature that is greater than 60 degree, which means it is automatically greater than 50 degrees Celsius. Therefore, this will also not be the answer. So the final answer for the question is option C. Okay, question 23. Which of the following statements is incorrect? Okay, so here are three figures that we are provided with, first, second, and third. Now, let us read the options one by one and we will cancel out the wrong ones. Okay. We will cancel out the right ones because in the question we are asked to find the incorrect statement, right? So the first one says P and Q are of equal weight. So as we can see in the figure 1, definitely P and Q are of equal weight. So this is the right one. So this will not be the answer. Now next is S is lighter than R. Okay. If we see the figure number 2, is S lighter than R? No. Why? Because R is uplifted in the air and S is downlifted, which means S is downlifted because it is heavier than R, right? Therefore, this will be the incorrect statement. So this is the answer. Okay, now let us try to solve question number 24. So in this question, we are provided with three different equations, right? So let us name these equations as 1, 2, and 3. So this will be equation 1, this will be equation 2, and finally this will be equation 3. Now, finally, we are asked to find the value of one party cap, right? Okay, so now, first of all, to begin with the solution, can we just substitute the value of equation 3 into the equations 2? Yes, we can do this, right? So what does the equation 2 say? It says 1 crown plus 2 party cap has the value of 31, right? So now we already know the value for one normal cap. So let us substitute the value here. So we'll say that 1 crown plus 2 normal caps all together hold the value of 31. Okay, now let us substitute the value here. So the value for one normal cap is 11. So let us multiply 2 with 11 and we'll say this will be equal to 31. Now finally, 1 crown plus 22 is equal to 31, right? So finally the value for 1 crown will be 31 minus 22, that is 9. Now we know the value for 1 crown, and since we know the value for the crown, we can now substitute this value in the first equation. So how will you read the first equation? The first equation says that the value for 2 party caps plus 3 crowns is equal to 43, right? So now we already know the value for the crown. So let's substitute it here. So we'll say 2 party caps plus 3 into 9 is equal to 43. So this further will be said as 2 party caps plus 27 is equal to 43, right? Now finally the value for 2 party caps will be 16. So now since we have the value for 2 party caps, in order to get the value for 1 party cap, we will divide this 16 with 2. So the final value for party cap will be 8. So the right answer to this question is option A. Now, question 25, fraction of the digit 2 in the given series is dash. Okay, now in this question, we are required to find the fraction. So we will find the numerator and the denominator separately. Okay, now for the denominator part, we have to count the total number of digits given in this series. So the total number of digits given in this series will be 30. Okay, and now for the numerator part, we have to count the occurrence of 2 in the given series. Okay, now let us count it one by one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so final is that for 7 times 2 is occurring in this series. So the numerator will be 7. So our complete fraction will be 7 out of 30. So the right answer to the question is option C. Question 26, read the statements carefully and identify the number. Okay, so now in this question, we have to try to make a 4-digit number, right? So now in order to do so, we will have to use these clues that are given to us. So we will read each clue one by one and try to implement it. Okay, now let us take the positions first. So this will be 1000, this will be hundreds, tens, and ones. Okay, now the first clue says its tens digit is 7 less than its units digit. Okay, now since we do not know what the units digit is, let us skip this for a while. Moving to the second clue, it says its units digit is greatest 1-digit number. Okay, now what is the greatest 1-digit number? It is 9, right? So therefore at ones place, we'll take 9. Now, that tens clue was dependent on the units digit, right? So we'll make it now. So it says its 10 digit is 7 less than its units digit, right? So the units digit is 9 and 7 less than 9 will be what? 2, right? So therefore this will be 2. Now its hundreds digit is twice its tens digit. Okay, so now for its hundreds digit, the value will be just double of that of the tens, right? So since at tens place it is 2, so for hundreds it will be 4. And finally, it says its thousand digit is an even number. Now see, for the option number D, at its thousands place, it has a odd digit, right? So this will definitely not be the answer. Now, talking about the other three options, let us see if it matches the rest of the numbers as well. So at thousands place, it is an even number at the option A, but rest of the digits are 639. Meanwhile, we wanted 429, right? So this will not be the answer. Now, talking about option B, at thousands place, it is an even number, but the digits, rest of the digits that we wanted were 429, but here it is 631. So this is also not the answer. So our final answer to the question will be option C. Okay, so the final number will be 4429. Question 27. During a discount sale on a shop, 197 customers visit on the first day. Okay, 220 more customers visit on the second day than the first day. How many customers would visit the shop on both the days together? Okay, so now on the first day, how many customers visited? The number is 197, right? So we'll say 197 customers visited on the first day. Now talking about the second day, how many customers visited? 220 more customers than the first day. So on first day it was 197 and 220 more visited. So this will be finally 417. Okay. Now we are asked to find out the total number of customers that have visited the shop on both the days together, right? So now let us do the sum of 197 and 417. So this value finally will be 614. Okay. So the right answer to the question is option B. Okay. Question number 28. Which of the following options shows the correct amount of money as the cost of given umbrella? Okay. Now, here we are provided with 4 different options and we have to calculate that in the 4 different options that we are provided, which option consists the sum of the total amount of money that we require to buy the umbrella, right? So now if we do the sum of option A, this will become rupees 305. Okay, how? Let's see. 100 plus 100, that is 200. 200 plus 50 is 250. And 250 plus 50 is 300. Then 300 plus 5 is definitely rupees 305. Right? Now, for the second option, this will be 200 plus 100, that is 300. 300 plus 10 is 310. 310 plus 10 is 320. And 320 plus 5 is 325. Right? Now, what is the amount, what is the value of the umbrella? It is rupees 325. And here in the option B, the total sum of money that we are getting is rupees 325, right? So both of these are matching. Therefore, the right answer will be option B. Question 29. A postman delivered 2,821 letters in month of January. If he delivered equal number of letters on each day, then find the number of letters delivered on each day. Okay, so in order to find the number of letters delivered on each day, what we will do is we will take this total number of letters delivered in the month of January, and we will divide it with the total number of days in the month of January. So what is the total number of days in January? It is 31, right? So now if we divide 2821 with 31, we will get 91. Okay, so the final answer to the question will be option B, 91. Question number 30. If 8 containers are needed to fill the drum of capacity 5 liter, then how many such containers are needed to fill the drum of capacity 8 liter 750 ml, right? So first of all, what we will do is we know that 8 containers have a total capacity of 5 liter, right? So now in order to find out the capacity of one container, we can divide this 5 liters, or we can say that 5000 ml with 8. So we will get the capacity of one container. So for one container capacity, it will be 625 ml. Okay. Now, since we know the value for one container, in the question it is asked how many such containers are needed to fill the drum of capacity 8 liter 750 ml. Okay. Now, to find the number of containers, what we will do, we will take this final capacity, that is, let's say 8750 ml. and we will divide it with 625 ml, which means this is the final capacity and this is the capacity for one container. So the final answer that we'll get will be 14. Okay, so the right answer to the question is option B. Okay, now students, we have arrived on the second and the last part of the paper, that is achievers section. Now in this section we have 5 questions in total and each question contains 2 marks. So please be a little careful while attempting this section. Okay, now let us see the 31st question. It says if one more bead is added at tens and hundreds place each and 2 beads are taken away from units place, then the difference between the number on abacus is as shown and the new number formed is. Okay, now in order to start solving the question, first of all, let us find out the number that is being shown on the abacus. So this number will be a 2 at the thousands place, 4 at the hundreds place, 3 at tens place, and finally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 6 at ones place. So the original number is 2, 4, 3, and 6, right? Now, what is, let us do what is said in the question. Okay, one more bead is added as tens and hundreds place. Okay, so this is the tens place and this is the hundreds place. If we add one more bead at these two places, this will become 5 and this will become 4. Now it is said that 2 beads are taken away from the units place. So this is the units place. So if we take away 2 beads from here, which means we'll subtract 2 beads. So this will become 4 instead of 6, right? Now, it is not said anything about the thousands place. So the thousands place value will remain the same. Now, finally, it is asked in the question that the difference between the number of abacus shown and the new number, we have to find that. Okay, so the new number is 2544 and the number shown on the abacus was 2436. So the answer for this will be, let's see, we'll subtract. Okay, so 14, see, we cannot subtract 6 out of 4, so we'll take a borrow. So this will become 3 and this will become 14. 14 minus 6 will be 8. Yeah, 14 minus 6 will be 8. Now 3 minus 3 is 0, 5 minus 4 is 1, and 2 minus 2 is 0. So the answer will be 108. That is 108. So the right answer to the question is option C. Now next question is match the columns and select the correct option. Okay, now in this question, we are provided with 2 columns. The column A shows us different objects and their weights, and the column B shows us different different weights that are to be calculated, and we have to get its total, and we have to match the item which has its total value. Okay, in the column B. So first object is a book that is of 550 gram. So let us first calculate the total weights in the column B. So this weight will be 2 kg plus 1 kg, that is 3 kg. 3 kg plus 1 kg will be 4 kg. 4 kg plus 500 gram is 4500 gram. And again a 500 gram if added will make this a 5 kg. Okay. Now option B is 1 kg plus 1 kg is equal to 2 kg. 2 kg plus 1 kg is equal to 3 kg. And finally 3 kg plus 250 gram and 250 gram will be 3 kg 500 gram. Now option C is 250 gram plus 250 gram, that will be 500 gram, and 500 gram plus 50 gram will be 550 gram. Okay, and finally, D is 100 gram plus 100 gram, that is 200 gram, and 200 gram plus 50 gram is 250 gram. Now let us try to match the weights. So for column A, the first object is of 550 gram. So 550 gram in the column B is at number C. So this will be C. Okay, the right answer for first one will be C. Now talking about weight, the weight of the wheat will be 5 kg, right? Now here in the column B, where is 5 kg? 5 kg is at option A. So A will be the right answer to the second question. Now third is 3 kg and 500 grams. So 3 kg and 500 grams can be found here at option B. So B will be the right answer to third question. And finally, the only option remaining is option D. So this will be the right answer. So the answer for first one is C, second one is A, third one is B, and fourth one is D. So the final answer to the question will be option B. Okay. Now, question 33. The given bar graph represents the number of playing cards 5 friends have. So who are the 5 friends? Nitish, Sahil, Amit, Nitin, and Kunal. Okay. Now, study the graph carefully and answer the following question. So before moving to the question, let us first try to solve the graph. So the number of cards that Nitish has will be 25. Why? Because the bar is just between 30 and 20. Okay, in the middle of that. So this will be 25. Now talking about Sahil, it will be 50. Talking about Amit, it will be 20. If talking about Nitin, this will be 30, and for Kunal, it will be 40. Now let us read the question. If Sahil gave 5 cards to Nitin and 10 cards to Nitish, how many cards did Sahil have? Sahil had 50 cards, right? So Sahil gave 5 cards to Nitin. Now already how many cards did Nitin have? Nitin had 30 cards already, and 5 cards were given to him by Sahil. So the total for Nitin will become 35, and 10 cards to Nitish. Now talking about Nitish, how many cards that Nitish had? Nitish had 25 cards already, and Sahil provided him 10 more cards. So the total for Nitish will be 35 cards. Now, since Sahil gave away a total of 15 cards, so we will deduct it from here, and the value for Sahil will be 35 cards now. Finally, it is asked that find the number of cards Nitish and Amit have together. Okay. Now, new value for Nitish is 35 and the value for Amit is 20, right? So, Nitish is equal to 35. Amit is equal to 20. So if we do the sum of these two, we will get the final answer. So this will become 5 plus 0 is equal to 5 and 3 plus 2 is equal to 5 again. So the right answer to the question is option B, 55. Question 34. Read the statements carefully and state T for true and F for false. Okay. The first statement is the sum of an odd number and an even number is always an odd number. Okay. Let us see. Let's take one odd number and one even number. So let the odd number be 3 and the even number be 4. Okay. So what will be the sum? The sum will be 7, which is an odd number. So this statement is true. Let's take another example. If we say odd number be 5 and even number, let's say 6. Okay, so the total for this will be 11, right? And which is again a odd number. So the first statement is true. Now talking about the second statement, the smallest 3-digit number formed from the digits 0, 3 and 6 without repeating the digits is 306. Yes, this will be true. Why? Because while we have to form the smallest number, we always arrange the digits in the ascending order. And since here we are provided with 0 also, so 0 will not be used in the beginning. Why? Because if we use 0 in the beginning, it will make the number to be a 2-digit number instead of making it a 3-digit number, right? So therefore, the right answer is 306 only. So this was also true. Now, finally, talking about the last statement, the number that should be added to 999 to give the smallest 4-digit number is 1. Okay. The number that we are provided with is 999 and we have to make smallest 4-digit number out of this. So the smallest 4-digit number will be 1000 and yes, it is true. The number that should be added will be 1. Right. So therefore, this is also true. So all of the 3 statements are true. Therefore, the right answer is option C. Okay, now we have arrived at the final question. So let us see this. On the basis of the given figure, select the correct statement. Okay, so here we are provided with a figure that is a box, and inside this box there are multiple figures, that is stars, circles, squares, triangles. So let us see the statements one by one and check which one is the correct one. So first one says 7 out of 20 of total shapes are squares. Okay, so for the first fraction to be true, it is said that it is 720, right? So for denominator, if it is 20, so the total number of figures in this diagram should be 20, right? So let us count it one by one. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. So yes, the total number of digits here is 20. So this denominator is right. But what we have to see is we have to also see the numerator, right? So how we will form the numerator? The numerator will be formed on the basis of total number of squares, right? So how many total squares are here? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Only 5 squares are here, but in this fraction it is said 11. Therefore, this will be the wrong answer. Now, next statement is 6 out of 15 of total shapes are stars. Now, this statement is already wrong. Why? Because we know that the denominator should consist of the total number of the figures, and the total number of figures is 20, not 15, right? Now, option number C, 5 out of 20 of total shapes are circles. Okay, now to check the option C, the fraction is 5 out of 20, right? So 20, the denominator is true. Why? Because 20 is the total number of shapes. And now we are talking about circle here. So for numerator part, we will take the total number of circles. So let us count. Yes, so the total number of circles will be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Yes, so numerator has also matched for us now. So therefore, in the question you were asked to find the correct statement. So this is the correct statement. Therefore, this will be the answer. That is option C. Okay. Now, everyone, this is it for today.